you had me there for a second, didn't you? I've literally had people over the last few months. When did we let the genie out of the bottle? 5 months ago, maybe, we started to talk to some folks, but in the hundreds of three-way calls I've conducted, I've actually had people go, so that's your name, Nuka? That's incredibly creative. It's an abbreviation for new company. Oh, okay. But I've had some people tell me, even over the last few hours, that of all the network marketing companies that they've been a part of, all the startups, that this one, unlike any other, has seemed to keep a lid on things for whatever reason. I like to think it's because of the people that we have, sort of, controlling things at the top and understanding that there's a purpose and a reason for everything. Just like I know that if we had opened up this meeting to anybody and everybody that would have wanted to have come, we, I don't know, maybe we would be in Arlington at the Cowboy Stadium, Mark? Is that right? Yeah. Maybe. But we had those, we had a lot of people actually come to us and say, I've got more than 3 people that want to attend. What do I tell them? You've got 3 favorites? I don't know. It's a tough task, but you have to understand that everything that we have done so far has been for a reason, and everything that we will do in the future will be for a reason. We might sometimes get our reasons mixed up a little bit, and then you can remind us, hey, that reason wasn't so good, right? Because as I mentioned to a few distributors last night, get ready for a new environment. Get ready for a new environment. This will not be your same old, mom and dad's network marketing company. It's going to create the tools and give them to you and say, this is your tool, when we got no input. And you're like, what do I do with this? Right? We're going to get feedback from the distributors. We take direction from the distributors. They take direction from us. They don't give us direction. And it's going to be a much, much different company than you're used to. The people that are here are persistent, and that's why you're here. Okay, what is the mailman endures what? Rain, snow, sleet, and hail. How many people had flight delays? Okay, how many people had road closures? Okay, that's not on the list for the mailman. So you're more persistent than the mailman. Okay, you got here. There's a reason why you are here. There's a reason for it. As I look out into this group, and I look at you, as I like to do often, not as a group really, but as 130 or 140 individuals. What I really see in each of your eyes is a reflection of me. I'm not better than you. I may have worked harder than some of you, maybe. I might have had more lady luck than some of you, maybe. But I believe that it's the old network marketing saying that luck is what? Where preparation meets opportunity. Right? But I don't look at anybody in this room and think that somehow because of the position that I've been granted that I'm better. I'm not better. I look in the audience and I see people that remind me of you, or remind me of me rather. Okay? I was where you are, and a lot of you have been where I am now, and the fact that you're here makes us all equal. Because if you were making $1 bazillion a month and happy in what you're doing, then you wouldn't be here today. Right? You just wouldn't be here. And the fact that success comes in all different shapes and sizes. I mean, some of the network marketing legends that I've heard about, I don't know what I'm expecting. I'm expecting somebody to come, sort of floating in. Right? They don't even make, terrestrial contact. They come floating in. And you meet them and you just go, well, they're just like me. These people that I've been hearing about for the last 20 years, I've been in network marketing now for 22 years, we're just the same. And you can't prejudge anybody. You can't prejudge anybody. So I was reminded of an old story when David had his lumberjack picture up there. There's a job application for lumberjack. And lumberjacks show up from far and wide to apply for this. They go to one position. And there's guys showing up from states with tons of trees, and there's people showing up with all kinds of equipment. They got the heavy-duty chainsaws, the pull-ons, and the whatever. And this one guy shows up with an axe. And they said, well, what are you doing here? He said, well, I'm here for the lumberjack position. And they said, what, have you ever worked in lumberjacking before? He says, oh yeah, many times. He says, well, give me one place that you've worked. He goes, well, I worked in the Sahara Forest. I said, Sahara Forest, don't you mean the Sahara Desert? He goes, well, yeah, now. So it's about work ethic, right? It's about desire, work ethic. I'm telling you right now, I would have never guessed Madison Baker at 5'0". Where are you? In a quarter, 5 feet and a quarter. Well, I mean, this gal's an assassin, for crying out loud. She just works and works and works and works. And if you don't put boundaries around yourself, you'll find yourself on the phone doing 3 ways with Madison Baker all the live long day. She is amazing. She is absolutely amazing. And I can go right down the line and talk about stories about every one of you. Some of you I'm meeting for the first time. I'll tell you what, the one person in the room with the junior most experience, 0. You're like, 0? Why is he here? Because he showed desire, the 3 things, quite frankly, he showed the 3 things that you have to have in network marketing, right? Teachability, burning desire to change. Burning desire to change, teachability, and a work ethic. Okay, how did I find this guy? He trained my dog. He trained, I mean, I didn't even hire him, my wife did. And this guy comes down from Redding, California to Sacramento, picks up our dog. I didn't meet him, right? When he came back to drop off the dog and do the follow-up trainings, he just started talking to me about what I do. And he goes, man, I love that. That sounds awesome. He goes, because my job is so dependent on what I do. I love dog training, but it's become a job now, and I'm wondering, what does life look like for me after dog training? I need something residual. Blair Diamond is here with us today because of that personality, okay? And with a last name like Diamond, how's this guy going to fit? So each and every one of us gets to define what we want out of this. I don't get to tell you. David Brown doesn't get to tell you. Peter Castleman doesn't get to tell you. Nobody gets to tell you what you want out of this. You get to define it. We're not going to set our goals on you. That would be wrong. Okay? Whatever it is that you want, however big or however small, there is a place for you here. There's a place for you here. And the vast majority of people who will join us, you've done a heck of a job so far identifying a lot of folks. I mean, there's a lot on the internet right now, isn't there? And we've got to start changing the way that we think. I got to tell you something. I'm embarrassed is too strong of a word. I'm not embarrassed, okay? But as I go out and look at the stuff, if you search Peter Castleman's Food Company, the stuff that's out there in traditional, typical network marketing form, about 80% of the stuff that's out there is accurate, and about 20% is embellishment, right? Because that's us. Because we think we have to make it better than it actually is. Okay? It doesn't get better than this. It doesn't get better than this. So we've got to do a better job in policing ourselves. Okay? Making sure that our message is true, so that when people do get the true message, like that video and others to follow, there's your teaser video, by the way. Okay? You okay with that? Okay? That when people start to get the true message, they're not let down, because you've overhyped it, that it hits them square between the eyes and right in the heart. Okay, so we've got to do a better job of that, and we will. That's our job. That's your job. That's why you're here. That's the unique opportunity that you have. There are moments in life that you will recall. There are significant moments in life that you revisit in your mind. With the passage of time, there might be a trigger point. There might be something that happens to you that triggers that memory. And for the rest of my life, this memory will be etched. David and I are hitching a ride with Peter heading east, and we're at, I don't know, 40, 45,000 feet or whatever altitude he gets to travel at. And he calls us together, and we do a little board meeting in his plane. And he says, you know, I know you network marketing types, I know you set your sights on $1 billion. So I know why. You know, not too many people there, let alone, you know, they've hit it, let alone maintained it. He said, but I got to tell you, if we become $1 billion, I'm just going to be so disappointed. It's going to be such a disappointment if we become just $1 billion company. He said, the market's too big. It's you know, the supplement industry, $18–20 billion. Food industry, $4.3 trillion. If you're $1 billion company in a $4.3 trillion market, you just haven't done very well. And he said, our range is 20 to 200 billion. That's our range. And I thought, that's a big range. He says, and whether or not we hit, right, the low end or the high end of that range will depend on two things. How we execute in the early stages of our company's life cycle, and the types of people that we attract to ourselves in the early days of our company's life cycle. You're it. You get to decide whether we're going to be at 20 billion. He said, we'll hit 1 billion like falling off the log. It must be a North Carolina state. We'll get to 1 billion falling off a log. But whether we hit 20 or 200 depends on how we execute and how you execute. So I hope you're up for it. You up for it?
Yeah!
Every distributor needs a great wingman. I got a great wingman right out of the gate. Jake Hines, please come up. I didn't get to invite Jake. Actually, Jake was invited for me on behalf of one of our corporate folks, but very quickly we became friends, partners, and he's awesome to work with. He and I and a few other people, Kirby and David, will you be coming during the second session? Yes? Yes. Okay, so a bunch of us are going to be taking the second half of what is now no longer the morning session, but I guess the first part of the afternoon session we'll be taking. We're going to do a lunch break. Anybody hungry? Yes. Okay, a couple of you hungry? There are restaurants around us. Here's the really cool thing about being a part of us, of NUCO. You got half of your, each meal has 50% of your essential nutrient daily intake, right? So you got 50% this morning. We're going to feed you the other 50% tonight, so you can basically eat whatever the hell you want. I hate to correct Peter, but Stacy told me once that actually the #1 reason why she likes Chip's food is because she can continue to eat Snickers bars.
And she looks great.
She loves Snickers. So anyway, go to lunch. We're going to have to be back here at 2. So you got an hour, but there's stuff right around us, and it's not like thousands of us, so you should be able to get in and get out. Try to order something that's simple, that's quick, that's not going to take, we don't want a souffle, right? I don't know how long one of those takes to rise. But do something quick. Jake and I are going to come back and kick off the afternoon session, and here's what you're going to be, so that you don't take too long. We're going to cover a couple of minor things, okay, like comp plan, international expansion, just minor stuff that you may or may not be interested in. So quick feedback here, 2 o'clock. Jake, you got me?
Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm, and he left his khakis at home.